I'm ready to be that difficult person today, Angie.
No, no, it's probably not a good idea to be that difficult person. You're going to be absolutely delightful today. All right. You always are, right?
Always.
Hi, Becky. How are you today?
I'm great, Angie. How are you?
I am here to talk about difficult people. Not that there's difficult people in my life. Are there difficult people in your life?
No, I don't have any difficult people, and nor have I ever been a difficult person.
You beat me to it. I was going to say, have you been that difficult person? I'm going to own that I've been that difficult person probably more than once, but I'm working on it. I think what do we say? If you're always working on it, then it's better than not. So anyway, difficult people. I'm curious because we have had so many conversations about things and we kind of a little bit know our families. I don't know your family as well as I think you maybe knew my parents. So there's always this question, like people who are just difficult by nature, like, they're just antagonistic, or they're just those people who want to just jab all the time. Did they grow up like that? Something happened that they became that way, or is it environmental? I'm always curious. So I'm curious to your family. Do you feel like you grew up in a real loving, supportive, easy, family, or did you feel like your family might have had a little bit more of opportunities in that, or for difficult people?
My parents, I would not describe either of my parents as difficult. If anything, and if they were here right now, especially my mom would say, Becky, you were the difficult one. And I would raise my hand and I would say, yes, I was the difficult one. I was the difficult teen. And if I were to say anything, and Shelly, I love you. My older sister, who's 3 years older, she was difficult. She was mean to me. And still to this day, my husband's like, get over it. I'll say, my sister did this to me or did that to me. And she was difficult. She didn't want to live with us. She was really, really difficult. And I think I just ignored her. And she ignored me more.
Oh, that's funny. So how'd that make you feel?
I've never thought about it, Angie, to be honest, that she ignored me.
So how does it feel?
I think I always looked up to my sister. She's 3 years older. She was beautiful, popular, had the guys just like all over her. And she was an amazing human being. And I put her up on a pedestal. And she ignored me a lot. And so how did I feel about that? I felt like I never got her approval. Like I was always searching for it and hoping for it. And I never got it. And that would be how I feel about my sister. How about you?
Well, no,
How do
how
you
about
feel
today?
about your family?
So we'll get there. But how about today? How do you feel? How do you feel about your sister? And, how's that relationship?
My relationship with my sister now is good. We have had some communication recently. We'll go years without talking to each other. Recently, I had a conversation with somebody and she was telling me about her older sister. And I said, it sounds like you put her on a pedestal. And the thing is that when we put somebody up on a pedestal, we are the ones that put them on the pedestal. They didn't put themselves there. Mm-hmm. And so if they let us down, it's because of the way we see them up on that pedestal instead of as they really are. And so that with my sister, it's really been about me adjusting how I see her instead of who she really is. And is she a difficult person now? I don't think she's difficult now. I think she's humble. I would say she's humble now.
Okay. But I think I asked you, how do you feel about your sister now?
How I feel about my sister now?
Yeah. Your relationship. I mean, let's say not just in specifically, like how do you feel about your relationship with your sister now?
I would say I value it. When my mom passed away 3 years ago, I have an older sister and I have a younger brother, and we all dealt with it differently. I was the one that got to take care of all of my mom's things. They didn't. That was their choice. And so I collected some things that I thought my sister would want of our moms, and I brought it to her rather than her coming and getting it. And so I got to have a nice moment with her, and her relationship with my mom was totally different than my relationship. How I see her now is I have compassion for her. She, in the campfire up in Paradise, she lost everything. And that's really tough. I think that was in 2020. So that was like the same year that our mom passed away.
Mm.
So I have a lot of compassion for her, and we've had some really nice text exchanges about her mental health and where she is right now, because it's been a road for her to get where she is right now. So I have compassion. That's the best word I feel about her. And I love her. She's my sister. Does that answer your question?
No. Because here's what I think. I hear what you're saying about who your sister is and that you have compassion for your sister and what your sister's been through. My question was, what about you? How do you feel? You mentioned that you said that you put her on a pedestal. You felt like you didn't get recognized by her. What are the words that you used? You said you didn't
I looked for her to
approval.
approval. Yeah, I looked for her approval.
Has that changed for you? Do you feel like you ever got her approval? What does that look like for you?
I never got her approval, and now I don't need it. I think over the years, okay, let's back up. My sister went through a phase in her life when I was in my early 20s where she made some choices that were not very good, that were really not great at all. And that's where she fell off that pedestal. And that's on me. I own that she fell off the pedestal, and I saw her in a totally different way. And for me, what I chose to do was get angry with her. I chose to not like her and really, truly despise her.
Mm.
And that's what worked for me. What worked
That's how you
for me at
coped
the
with
time.
that. Was your coping. That was how you coped with it. Yeah.
That's how I coped with it.
Mhm.
And it didn't change who she was or what she did. It was just how I was dealing with it. And so over the years, that has resolved. I don't look for her approval. And I say this not to sound arrogant. If anything, the tables have turned and she looks for mine. If that's even in her mind thought, things that I post on social media, the comments that she makes are, Beckie, you're making a difference for people. Beckie, you're such a blessing to this world. Like, she lifts me up, which
Sounds
is
like approval.
totally different. It does sound like approval. Yet it's interesting. I hadn't connected the dots on that. And yet it's not necessary for me now. I don't
That's why you
go,
didn't connect the dots.
yes, I finally have it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
That's why it didn't stand out to you. But it sounds like that is exactly what you are getting. You're receiving from her now what you wanted. And now that it's not necessary. Okay, so we could dive into that. Let's think about that for a second. When you really needed it, she didn't give it to you. So talk about difficult people, because we've had conversations about people withholding, right? So when you need something from someone and they don't give it to you, but then when you're like, I don't need it from you anymore and I don't care, then all of a sudden they're like, here, take it. Here, take it. Please take it. It's like, where were you when I really needed it? That's kind of that's where I go with that.
It's like Nanny McPhee, I'll be here when you don't want me, but when you need me, I'll be gone.
Yep. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? And you never put it together. So
I
you feel
didn't.
like so you feel like your parents were both very supportive and easygoing in general?
Yeah. I mean, my dad, yelled and did the dad stuff, I think, in my house. My mom said things that you probably wouldn't say to a kid these days. And yet,
And you
I
survived.
wouldn't, and I survived. I survived. I remember saying, I had this client years ago, and I said, my mom would call us a dumbass or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I go, well, didn't your mom call you that? And she goes, no. And I mean, I'm like in my
Not
early
in judgment,
40s
but no.
or late 30s. Like, I'm like, no, you didn't get that at your house. Like, it never occurred to me that kind of stuff didn't happen in other people's houses. So
You probably drank from the garden hose too. Oh my gosh. And you survived.